Good evening from Eliottis Field on the campus of North High School. Welcome to Time Warner Cable Channel 52's Prep Football Game of the Week. Tonight, the Centennial Golden Hawks score 4-1. Ranked number 4 in the Central Section take on the 4-1 North High Stars.
Well, Mark, it should be a great football game tonight. Both teams want to get the ball and run into each other, and they want to have a physical game tonight. Whoever can do best on the offensive and defensive lines will be the winner tonight.
Andrew Stubbe, the main runner for Centennial. Josh Conley for North High.
I like the matchup. I really do. This is a rivalry. This is personal tonight. So we're going to see some really head-knocking tonight, Mark.
Both teams feature big offensive lines.
They do, and it's just going to be a situation where whoever can knock the other one off the ball. I look for a great game.
I'm Mark Heffernan along with Dennis Heffernan. Tonight, it's Centennial at North on Time Warner Cable, Channel 52.
Get in on all the football action with refreshing Coca-Cola Classic. This game is brought to you by your Coca-Cola bottler in Bakersfield. Always for the fans, always Coca-Cola.
Excuse me, is that tuxedo from AJ's?
Let AJ's get you noticed. A Bakersfield tradition for over 25 years. Specializing in Pierre Cardin, Christian Dior, Oscar de la Renta, and Calvin Klein. AJ's Tuxedo Junction with 3 great locations to serve you.
It was a day like any other. Mom was baking her famous cinnamon rolls when suddenly the skies grew dark and the winds began to blow. There was no mistake, a cyclone was coming. We ran for cover just in time. And when we returned, the most incredible thing had happened.
Oh, my.
With a taste that'd make your taste buds spin, people came from miles around for just one bite. And you will too, at Cinnamon Cyclone.
Cinnamon Cyclones is now open at 18th and Chester, so stop by. We'll make your taste buds spin.
The more you shop, the more you'll save during Gottschalk's Super Saturday Sale. Get a $10 certificate good towards future purchases for every $50 you charge on your Gottschalk's card. And that's on top of great savings like Mrs. and Petite's Fleece Stadium jackets, 25% off. Men's Shaver Lake knit shirts, 33% off. Your choice of feather bed or fiber bed, just $59.99 any size. And save 40% on open stock Blue Danube China. So shop the Super Saturday Sale. For the more you shop, the more you'll save. Only at Gottschalk's.
Good evening from Eliottis Field on the campus of North High School. Welcome to Prep Football on Time Warner Cable Channel 52. I'm Mark Heffernan. With me tonight again is my brother Dennis. A great matchup between 4-1 Centennial and 4-1 North in a Southwest Assembly League opener.
Well, Mark, I think that's the most important thing right now is that this is the opening league game. These games are really important now because whoever wins this game, especially between these two teams, is really heads up as far as having an advantage in the Southwest Assembly League, so we'll see what happens.
And you only play 4 games in league. The kickoff comes to North Centennial, who rips the ball carrier. He breaks away, though. Down the side, 20, 30, 40. Can he go the distance? Midfield, 40 to the 30. They drive. He stays on his feet, knocked out of bounds. I can't believe it. Centennial pounded him at the 10-yard line. He broke loose. It looked like everybody gave up. He stayed on his feet, and North High is deep in Centennial territory. Great effort by number 39.
And Mark, that was about an 88-yard run there, and he got knocked out at about the 12-yard line.
That's Todd Seiler, one of the running backs for North High School. Somewhat ran out of gas, but first and 10 for North at the Centennial 13.
Well, Mark, he hit the middle of the wedge, and the Centennial special teams did not wrap him up. He bounced off and then ran down the left sideline. Great run for 88 yards, but got caught at the 12.
First and 10 for the Stars. Conley straight up the middle to about the 10, maybe the 9-yard line. Going off left tackle. Both these teams feature big offensive lines.
Well, both teams want to run the football, but I think right now we have to admit it looks like North came out ready to play tonight.
You better believe it. North High in red and gray pants. Gray helmets. Centennial in their gold pants. White jerseys, red letters, and gold helmets. Key man for Centennial, Jones, lines up at nose guard and defense. 2nd and 6 for North. There's Conley again to the outside. Hitting the backfill and dropped. Nice play by Centennial. We know how quick they are. We saw them against BHS in that 14-10 victory a couple of weeks ago. And it's 3rd and 6 for North.
Well, Mark, again, Gonzalez, the right cornerback, came up and made the tackle. And that's one of the really advantages that Centennial has. They have great tacklers in the defensive backfield, and they really like to come up and make the tackle on defense. They really like to come up.
Jason Connolly, number 21, the tailback. Tim Hatton is the quarterback. He's been playing very well this year for North. Throwing for over 400 yards. Passes off to the right. It's complete. Oh, knocked away. They'll call it incomplete. And that's got to be Neal, who made a lot of big plays in our coverage against East High about 3 weeks ago. Neal kind of lines up, catches some balls from his wingback position, runs once in a while, plays defensive back. 4th down for North, and they'll probably try for the field goal. They have a great kicker, too, in Boyce, Bobby Boyce, number 7.
Well, Mark, I think you would admit that if you watch Centennial play defense, their corners and secondary like to come up and make the tackle. They really like to engage the ball carrier. So they really have a lot of players who like to make the tackle.
Boyce left for the kicker, and it is no good. Misses it. Only had about a 26-yard attempt. He could kick him from 50, but he missed it.
That's kind of a major blow there. They made that great kickoff return to the 12-yard line and then couldn't get another yard. That shows you the kind of defense Centennial.
We know about Centennial's defense. Remember against BHS, the Drillers had it 1st and 10 from the 12 and didn't make even a yard in 4 plays before the quarterback, Osborne, was sacked on the final play of the game.
Well, Mark, I think one thing North did there that I think they might want to correct as the game goes on is I really want to go straight ahead against Centennial. They are very quick, going wide. And North tried to run the ball wide and really couldn't make any yards at all.
Yeah, he did it twice to Conley. Roberts wide to the right for Centennial. Quarterback is George Valles. Andrew Scooby off the left side across the 20-yard line. Gains about 5 or 6. You know, with Andrew sometimes, it doesn't look like he's gaining that much, but they have such a big offensive line. Their push is excellent. He gets 4 or 5 and breaks it off, number 43.
Well, Mark, as we mentioned in the pregame show, it's no secret what Centennial is going to do here. They're going to take the ball and really run north and south. Not east and west. They're going to go north and south, really with Scooby. And he's shown a great improvement this year over last year.
Nick Echeverry is a fullback for Centennial. Jesse Morales also plays quite a bit. They all have 5+ yards per carry, 2nd and 5 for the Golden Hawks. There's Echeverry, and he is stacked up. Wasn't much there to be 3rd down for Centennial. Call maybe 3rd and 5. North High 4-1, Centennial 4-1 this year as we enter the 6th game of the season, number 1 in the Southwestern Central League. As I mentioned, you only play 4 league games, so every game is so important.
Right, Mark, on that last play, Chris Johnson, the linebacker, came up and made a nice play. 5'10", 170-pound linebacker. North has some good size up in the defensive front, but some of their linebackers are a little bit smaller and quicker.
Ratcher wide to the right for Centennial. 8 receptions this year. Has a big average per catch. Valles to throw. Fairly good protection. The pass is complete. He is in bounds to Bratcher, number 20. Nice pass, nice reception. 1st down and 10 for Centennial.
Well, Mark, in that situation, North is playing single coverage on the wideout. And, of course, the receiver, Bratcher, just made a 8-yard down and out. And it really was a nice pass by Waugh, the quarterback, and 1st down.
He has 9 receptions this year for close to 200 yards. 1st and 10 for the Golden Hawks. 9 minutes to play in the 1st quarter. George Valles, number 19, a quarterback. Andrew Scooby hit very hard after a gain of 1 or 2. Nice push forward by the Centennial running back. Had about 260 yards against Garces and I think 160 against BHS. So Andrew has been on a roll in his last 2 games.
Well, Mark, I also think the quarterback Velos has been improving too. You know, that Vegas High game really gave him some confidence. And he's been really putting together some really good performances. And last week he played very well against Garces. And again today, he's come out tonight and he's completed 1 pass here in the 1st quarter and threw that ball with authority. So Centennial knows they have to throw the ball a little bit, trying to open up the passing game.
Okay, 2nd and 6 for Centennial. Receiver split to each side, single running back. Valles pass complete to the far side of Roberts. Nice move. Has a 1st down. Across midfield inside North High territory, Justin Roberts.
Mark, did Jan Stubbe hear you about throwing the ball more? I mean, when he came out tonight, again, a 3-step drop by the quarterback. Velos, a quick pass to the flat, and another first down. I mean, they are doing exactly what I thought they should do. Short passing game, safe passes, conservative, and they blend that with their running game, and they got a pretty potent offense there.
Yeah, a short passing game would be to their effect. 1st and 10 for the Golden Hawks, ball on the left hash mark as they're in North High territory to 47. Dallas, there's a draw play to Stubbe, and they stack him up for 2 or 3 yards loss. North was really coming on the play, thinking that George was going to pass the ball, so the pressure was excellent, and they contained well. And he loses 2 or 3 yards, back actually inside Centennial territory.
Yeah, Mr. Nunley of North, 6'3", 270-pound defensive tackle, came up and made a nice play that time and stopped Stubbe.
And he definitely is a load. Both teams have some huge people that play in the offensive and defensive line. A lot of guys go both ways. As Bratcher and Roberts come to this side on 2nd and a long 12 for Centennial, just inside midfield. Bale setting up the screen right. There's a Stubbe. North screens it out. He cuts back. Pretty good run. And he gets more. Great run by Andrew Stubbe. First down for Centennial. When he caught the ball in the backfield, a couple of North players were there. Looked like he was doomed, cut inside of them, and then, of course, the last 7 yards, he'd use his leg strength.
Well, Mark, Roberts and Bradford went out deep and cleared the area, and then Stubbe came out into the flat, and he made a nice catch in the flat, but Mark Conley was right there. The defensive cornerback came up, but Stubbe just broke the tackle and made a nice gain. Stubbe's a very hard runner for 165.
Oh, yeah. Much stronger than his poundage says. 1st and 10 for the Golden Hawks, 6'5", 6 to play in the first quarter. Andrew that time refusing to go down with one person with a grasp on him. You know, when he made that cutback, I thought that he might get within 5 yards of the first down marker. And basically just tugged defenders the last 5 or 7 yards. He knew where that first down marker was, and he was intent to get it, and he did.
Well, Mark, so far in this game, Velos 3 for 3 in the passing department.
Throwing those safe passes, a la the San Francisco 49ers. Echeverry and Stubbe behind the quarterback. Echeverry, straight up the middle, maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage, so didn't fool anybody. North High putting up a very good wall defensively. Jeremy Nunley on the tackle again.
Well, Mark, North High is stacking the middle of the defensive line, so when Centennial tries to run north and south, they're doing a good job. But I really like Centennial's passes today. They're throwing the ball out on the flat. They're trying to utilize single coverage, trying to get their receivers in single coverage so then they can throw the ball. And he's really worked on the passing game in the last 2 or 3 weeks because it looks much more effective.
You know what's amazing? Centennial has scored or gained all the first downs on pass receptions in this particular drive. 6 minutes plus to play in the first quarter, no score between the Golden Hawks and North High Stars. And we have a flag down from North High Stadium, Turk Eliadis Field.
Oh boy, what a coach he was here for years, Mark.
What a basketball referee. Yes. He intimidated the players.
He was.
He intimidated me when I went to watch North High play.
Yeah, he really had a tradition here at North High for years for football. And of course he had some boys that played here.
Danny Eliadis was a very good ball player here. Actually, his name was Jordan Turk Eliadis. Okay, 2nd down and 15 for the Golden Hawks, a 5-yard penalty against Centennial. As they're at the North 41-yard line. The count by Bayless. Fumbles the ball. Does he have it? So the last 2 plays for Centennial, not looking too positive. They have the 5-yard penalty, and then basically a washout down there. And now they have a 3rd and 15. So you think this is a passing situation, or would they try the draw?
Well, you know, we know Jack O'Brien is plugging up the center of the line, Mark. He has an 8 or 9 man front. He's trying to stop the run north-south. But Centennial tonight is really getting single coverage on Roberts and Bratcher. And tonight so far, Bayless has been able to throw the ball to them on single coverage. So look for another pass in this situation.
The 2 is wide to each side for the Golden Hawks. A 3rd and 15. North showing blitz. Bayless to throw. Plenty of time. Cars over middle complete. I think it's to Smith. First down for Centennial. The Golden Hawks. Jamie Smith, one of the top receivers, open over the middle on a post pattern. First down for the Golden Hawks.
Again, Mark, the key to that offensive situation was good pass protection. Again, single coverage on the receiver, Smith. He's able to make a 16-yard gain right over the middle of the field. North High right now is single covering all receivers plus the tight end. So right now, if he gets time to throw Velos, he can really pick that defense apart.
And he has been getting time to throw. Excellent protection on all those 4 pass plays. 4 first downs, all via the pass. Unusual for Centennial. 4:35 to play. They were controlling the clock. The North 23 pitch back. Andrew Stubbe cut down in the backfield. Excellent play by number 8 for North High. Paul Guerrero. Boy, he was in the backfield in a hurry. I don't think anybody blocked him.
Well, he smelled that play out. Really came up and made a nice play on Stubbe. It really stopped him for a few yards lost there. So right now, Mark, North is really scouting Centennial. Jack O'Brien, the coach of North, is saying one thing: beat me with the pass, because you're not going to beat me with the run. That's what he's telling Centennial. So what's Centennial's response? 4 for 4 in the passing department. That's the response.
Now, Andrew Stubbe has lost yardage on about 3 running plays tonight. You talk about the excellent penetration by North at 2nd and 11. Keeper by Valos. Has a running room. First down and more. Inside the 10. First and goal for the Golden Hawks at a 7. As George, running left, has some good running room. Nice fake to Echeverry at the middle.
Oh, Mark, the whole defense converged on Echeverry, and that's what we were talking about tonight, the way North is really sacrificing the outside to really stack up that middle. And again, Velos in the belly, took it out, went around the left side, got a first down. North is going to have to loosen up eventually, or they cannot continue to play that kind of defense.
Okay, first down for George. The first time tonight that Centennial's had a first down on the running play. And this time the quarterback does it. First and goal from the 7. Late here in the first quarter. As we see smoke in the air, I think it's from some of those T-bone steaks. There's Andrew Stubbe. Good opening to the goal line. Touchdown, Centennial Golden Hawks.
Mark, again, that was just a great run all over the left side. And they opened up a nice hole, the offensive tackle. And again, Centennial just rolled right in. But that really was, that situation was really developed by the passing game. And Centennial looked great so far here in the first quarter, Mark, throwing the football. 5 for 5 for Velos here in the first quarter. North High single covering the wideouts, single covering the tight end, and Velos getting time to throw. And he's just picking them apart right now with the short passing game. Who said Centennial can't throw, Mark?
And a PAT by Long is successful. 3:12 to play in the first quarter. Centennial 7, North High nothing from Jordan Turk Iliadis Field on the campus of North High School. You know, we talked about the protection that Velos has received from his offensive line. Excellent on the passing situations. Had 4 pass receptions for first downs there in that first drive. Then he ran for one on the left side. Then he gets to Stubbe. Excellent blocking by the Centennial offensive front.
Well, Mark, Josh Williams and Brian Kitching have really done a fine job in the center of the line, really opening up those holes for Stubbe, and also pass protecting for Velos. Those 2 guys to look at tonight for the fans who are watching at home. Kitching and Josh Williams, 2 fine offensive linemen for Centennial.
Now, Kitching is number 77 for the Golden Hawks.
Well, Mark, he's a fine football player, too, I tell you. He's one player that the college scouts are definitely going to be drooling over.
And Josh Williams is number 61 for Centennial.
We know about the offensive line.
Over them already, they know.
Right, we already know the kind of offensive line that they have. And as the game goes on, when I see a good block in there, I'll make sure I'll notice some of these offensive linemen, because without them, Centennial would not be successful as they are, because that whole offense revolves around that strong, big offensive line.
And there's a kick. North High number 33 is fumbled, and they would take it out at the 20-yard line. First and 10 for North. Anytime the ball is kicked through the end zone in high school or junior college, it is taken out to the 20. First and 10 for North High. So North, with the opening kickoff, Seiler takes it down to the 12-yard line, Centennial territory. The Golden Hawks defense rise to the occasion, stops North, then a very excellent field goal kicker, Boyce, blows what is basically a short field goal, about 27 yards for him. So North comes out with nothing. Centennial drives all the way downfield, used up a lot of clock and scores. You talk about a momentum changer right there. Down up the middle, and basically all you have there are Golden Hawks on defense.
Well, like you say, Centennial has really opened up the passing game, and I think they know, Mark, Coach Stubbe does know that down the road they're going to have to throw the football, because teams eventually, especially some of the better teams, if they get into the playoffs, which I'm sure they will, they're going to be in a situation where when they stop the run, they're going to have to be able to throw the football. And the short passing game is really the best way, especially for a young team like Centennial, who really doesn't have a lot of experience throwing. Short passes are conservative, and they're safe, and they don't cause turnovers.
Tim Hatton is the quarterback for North. We have a flag down the backfield. Might be too much time or illegal motion against North High. It is 5 yards against the Stars. Of course, Centennial was guilty of that in their last drive. It didn't hurt them. They had a 3rd and 15 situation. And that's when they flipped the ball to Andrew Stubbe, and it looked like North had him cornered. And he was able to cut inside 2 Star defenders. Was hit by 2 others and just simply dragged them about 7 yards, keeping those legs churning. That never give up attitude. 2:20 to play in the first quarter. The Stars with it 2nd and 15 deep in their own territory, down 7-0 to Centennial. Who's number 3? Patton, great drop back. The out pattern is incomplete. Trying to hit Larry Birch, 150-pound wide receiver for North. Had a yard step on the defender, but the pass was thrown to the outside. And we have a 3rd and 15 situation for the Stars. You know, North does not want to throw the ball too much, especially deep in their own territory. They want to control the football and use up some of the clock, and they don't want to be in a situation where they're in a high-scoring game.
Well, especially Hatton right now with a little bit of an inexperienced receiving corps. You want to make sure you got good field position. They don't want to get behind 14-0 here and make a mistake.
Collins to the outside, nice tackle. Give credit to Ryan Durmeyer, number 30 for Centennial. Good one-on-one tackle, and Conley goes down. Conley and Stubbe ranked right next to each other in the area rushing. I think Stubbe had 9 touchdowns, Conley 8 coming in. We know Stubbe returned the interception for a score. Conley's done that. Also, Conley blocked a punt in one game and returned it for a touchdown. 2 very versatile players. Conley has to get going for North High tonight, but of course, he needs some help. As Boyce will be punting for North from his own 5-yard line. Beautiful punt. Left-footed, kicks it away from the receiver. Pick it there, gets to 50, 45, 40. And stays on his feet as number 24 for the Golden Hawks with a fine return. Buston with the tackle for North High. Yeah, Chris Branson with a great return for Centennial. And they set up deep in North High territory, leading 7-0.
Well, Mark, I think so far here in this first quarter, we've seen the Centennial defense, especially the defensive backs and secondary, willing to come up and really stop the wide plays. This is one of the very few teams I've seen recently that the defensive secondary, guys are not real big, love to come up and make tackles. I mean, it's really a game-packing type of defense. And they've been very effective so far in this first quarter. For North High, they're going to have to find a way to loosen them up a little bit, maybe throw a few passes.
They teach them that aggressive style. Play action. There's the throw. It's deep. It is complete. Number 20 inside the 10. 1st and goal for Centennial. Jared Bratcher with the reception. It looked like the pass was up for grabs, but Bratcher timed it better than the defender for Centennial.
Mark, a 42-yard pass to Jared Bratcher down the right sideline. Again, what we see here is single coverage. North continuing to clog up the middle, playing a 9-man front, single covering Robertson and also Bratcher. And Velos is seeing that, reading the defense, and again, single coverage, made the reception again. You're not going to be able to cover these receivers with single coverage. They have to get help on Bratcher.
And he's had 2 big receptions tonight, as the Golden Hawks have it 1st and goal from the 7. Continue throwing the ball tonight very effectively. There's Andrew Stubbe off the right, so look at the push. There wasn't much there, but he gets to about the 5, maybe inside the 5-yard line. Andrew Stubbe to about the 5-yard line. 2nd and goal from the 5 for the Golden Hawks. As Centennial tries to push it in once again. The only game this year Centennial had trouble was against Redwood.
Mark,
when the quarterback lit him up for a couple of long pass plays in the first half.
Now, Mark, one player for the fans at home to look for North is number 43, Justin Woltz, the defensive end junior, 6'3", 200. He's a very solid player for North High on defense. George Vandals calling signals for Centennial. Pitch back to Andrew Stubbe. Cuts back, close to the goal line, stays on his feet. He's in. Once
once again, that extra effort by Andrew Stubbe, number 43, lends itself to another touchdown for the Golden Hawks.
Right, Mark. Again, that good block by Williams again, Josh Williams. But basically, that was an effort by Adam Stubbe there. He basically just broke a few tackles at the one and would not be denied. Wanted to get in the end zone, and he has really come on this year as a senior running back. 165-pounder, not big, but boy, he's quick, hits the hole fast, and has tremendous second effort and great balance. As you noted earlier when we saw him play against BHS, he has great balance for a running back.
Long PAT is good, and the Golden Hawks lead at 14-0 as the first quarter comes to a conclusion. It's been all Centennial in the first period tonight. Both teams have come out to play, but Centennial has definitely played better. And you're watching Prep Football exclusively on Time Warner Cable, Channel 52.
The more you shop, the more you'll save during Gottschalk's Super Saturday Sale. Get a $10 certificate good towards future purchases for every $50 you charge on your Gottschalk's card. And that's on top of great savings like Mrs. and Petite's Fleece Stadium jackets, 25% off. Men's Shaver Lake knit shirts, 33% off. Your choice of feather bed or fiber bed, just $59.99 any size. And save 40% on open stock Blue Danube China. So shop the Super Saturday Sale. For the more you shop, the more you'll save. Only at Gottschalk's.
It was a day like any other. Mom was baking her famous cinnamon rolls when suddenly the skies grew dark and the winds began to blow. There was no mistake, a cyclone was coming. We ran for cover just in time. And when we returned, the most incredible thing had happened.
Oh, my.
With a taste that'd make your taste buds spin, people came from miles around for just one bite. And you will too, at Cinnamon Cyclone.
Cinnamon Cyclones is now open at 18th and Chester, so stop by. We'll make your taste buds spin.
Where did the Power Flow come from?
The new Power Flow sports bottle. It's faster, so you can get back into the game where you belong. The new Power Flow from Powerade. Power the working muscles when you need it. I am not done.
Get back into the game with Powerade. This game is brought to you by Powerade and your Coca-Cola bottler in Bakersfield. Powerade, you are not done.
Excuse me, is that tuxedo from AJ's?
Let AJ's get you noticed. A Bakersfield tradition for over 25 years, specializing in Pierre Cardin, Christian Dior, Oscar de la Renta, and Calvin Klein. AJ's Tuxedo Junction, with 3 great locations to serve you.
And we begin the second quarter from Turkey Liana's Field on the campus of North High School. The Stars have 0, Centennial has 14. As a kick by Long sails through the end zone. That'll be first and 10 for the Stars from their own 20-yard line. Centennial looking very impressive coming out tonight.
Well, Mark, you know, we talk about the offense of Centennial and the defense, but their special teams have been great here in the first period. And you can see that Coach Stubbe really works well with the special teams. He really focuses on that. And Bratcher, number 24, has just been excellent on the special teams. I mean, he's all over the field. Not only does he goes on the kick return team, he's also on the kickoff team. Goes down there, busts over guys, makes tackles. I mean, they really put their best athletes on the.
Well, he's got great speed.
Right.
You talk about Jonah Long, the field goal kicker. He's part of that Centennial Central Section winning soccer team last year. Jonah Long, the kickoff man and the field goal kicker for Centennial.
Well, Mark, there's been a little bit of a resurgence in a lot of coaches putting their best athletes on special teams now. They're not just putting the guys who are not really very good. They're putting their best players because most coaches know now that special teams can win a lot of games for you.
A very important part of the game of football, that's for sure. We've seen teams that have had special teams breakdowns. We've also seen teams that have excellent punters, field goal kickers, kickoff men, and it makes so much difference in field position, which is important against a great team. Handoff off to the left side, and the Golden Hawks is putting up a strong D, a big barrier there, a concrete wall, as North tries to run. I don't think North can be very successful running against Centennial tonight. They're going to have to throw the ball or do something wide because it's not going to happen against the Golden Hawks.
Well, Mark, how do you run it at Lonnie Jones? That's what they're trying to do. It's not working.
Can't run at him. You got to try to run around him to the side.
6'1", 290.
And hopefully get some blocking. Not even BHS ran very effectively against Centennial. And BHS probably averaged about 290 yards across the offensive line. 10:45 to play in the first half, 14-0 in favor of the Golden Hawks. Adam at the keeper going to his left. His pass complete. Oh, what a hit on the other side. They'll be shy of the first down. Woo! Number 41 for the reception for North. Sam McLaughlin.
And Mark Marisic made the defensive stop for
We called his name
Centennial.
quite a bit in that game against BHS. You know the thing is, you play other teams like East High and whatever, but you play Centennial, it's a whole different ball game.
And Mark, he's 5'9", 165-pound Marisic.
You think you're going to get to a spot, and before you get to that spot, somebody comes up and just plants you, or at least two guys.
Well, he's certainly a hitter. He plays rover back for Centennial, and at 5'9", 165 as a junior, he really packs a load.
You know, the size of a guy is not really that important. It's the kind of aggressiveness they have bringing to it. And the fact is, if you take off 10 or 15 yards away from the ball carrier and you hit him properly, you can bust anybody in regards to 190 or 200. A lot of times the guys that are 240 don't hit that hard unless it's just in the trenches in the middle of the line. A lot of the size factor is overrated in football. We talk about Centennial defensive backs not being that big, but they're very quick, very well coached, and they come to the ball extremely well. The only game they were burned was against Redwood. They were beaten by the pass, but two of Centennial's fastest defensive backs weren't playing that week due to ankle problems.
Well, I'll tell you, you've got to really admire Centennial's defensive coaching staff, because they've got this team playing very aggressive defense, and like you say, they swarm to the ball. And the secondary love to come up and make tackles. It's really almost impossible to run wide on them. You really have to go north and south, and unfortunately for North High, they don't really have the size to go north and south on them. So they're trying to go east and west, and it has not been successful. So what's the answer, Mark? The answer is short passing game. That's what Centennial's done to them. Hatton's getting some single coverage on his receivers. So what he needs to do is he needs to throw some short passes to the wideouts and see if they can move the ball that way to loosen up the Centennial defense.
North trying to run it straight up the middle. And Centennial up to the challenge, Conley, the ball carrier. Not really seeing the holes tonight. Brian Kitching making the tackle, number 77. Another one of those guys who's a big load for the Golden Hawks. Has the height and the size. And it's 2nd and 10 for North. Talk about a good athlete, Jason Waugh, the free safety for Centennial, number 22. An outstanding baseball player. He was one of the guys who missed that game against Redwood with the ankle injury. Back in form, of course, Andrew Stubbe, 43, plays left corner for the Golden Hawks. And we know number 3 did a great job against BHS for Centennial. The pass intercepted on number 45. 1st and 10 for the Golden Hawks in North High territory. And Hatton took a rip. Quarterback for North. He is still down on his back. They didn't protect him very well that time. And Centennial with a 14-0 lead has the ball deep in North High territory. 9:34 to play in the first half, and they want more. They're at the 33-yard line.
Well, Mark, a great interception by Rusty Coons, the linebacker who dropped up in the secondary, dropped back in the secondary, and just kind of played a zone and made the interception. But again, Justin Davis, the inside linebacker for Centennial, put the pressure on the quarterback, Hatton, and forced the interception.
But unfortunately for North, Hatton still is on his back. He's still shaken up after that vicious blow. We've seen some hard hits tonight.
Well, Mark,
Play that would make any highlight film.
Well, Justin Davis is 6'1", 233 middle linebacker, can pack a load.
Whew. They're coming from all angles, from the north, south, east, west. The Golden Hawks tonight showing a lot of emotion as they came out tonight ready to play. And you would think, well, North ran back the opening kickoff almost all the way, but I said almost all the way. Now, if Seiler runs it back, it's a touchdown for North. That could change momentum, but the fact is he was tackled at the 12. Centennial defense stopped. Then you have an excellent field goal kicker in Boyce who comes in and misses a chip shot field goal from 27 yards away. He can kick it 50 yards. Centennial is bolstered by that. They take it all the way downfield, have 4 first downs on pass receptions they score. Then they get the ball back after stopping North. They start the next drive inside the North 40 and they score on a run by Andrew Stubbe. And that wears on a team emotionally besides physically.
Well, I'll tell you, if you're North High, you're looking for anything right now, looking for any kind of emotion, any kind of an edge to get something going, because this has been all Centennial. Centennial's dominating the offensive and defensive lines. But I just think what's really helped Centennial tonight, Mark, has been just the short passing game has really poked some holes into that North defense. You know, they're trying to clog up the middle, play that 9-man front, and they've had some success stopping Etchever and Stubbe, but they have not had any success single covering the wideouts, and Bratcher's really hurt him here in the first period.
Well, Bratcher has a lot of speed. They haven't been using him that much this year, but they're using him more tonight. And of course, a lot of it's a matchup situation, like you said. They're single covering Bratcher, and Jan Stubbe feels that he can beat single coverage.
Well,
and most outstanding receivers can.
You're right, but I think when you look at Centennial, you also have to look at that defense. That defense is awesome. And defense wins championships. They really put the offense in good field position, and their defense is so quick to the ball. And other teams right now are not doing anything. Let me tell you something. When they beat BHS, that's been a big confidence builder for Centennial.
Just shut down the other team. 9:34 to play in the first half. There's Echeverry in motion for the Golden Hawks. Long count by Bayless. Pitch back. Andrew Stubbe makes a nice grab. Cuts inside. Stays on his feet. Conley tripped him up. And he might lose about a half yard. Great penetration by North High. But nice bobble job by Stubbe. The pitch was in front of him to his left. Shows some good hands. Recovered it. And maybe gained. I actually lost about a yard on the play.
Mark, that was a nice play by the defensive cornerback, Jason Holland. Came up and made a nice tackle on Stubbe.
And a play set up by Conley, who made the initial drive in there, who slowed up Andrew Stubbe. Well, the Golden Hawks with the ball in the left hash mark in North High territory. And they have 2nd and 12, leading 14-0 over North. Bayless play action. Nice protection. Oh, not complete. Now I call it, say trapped it. It is incomplete. The coverage, looks like maybe should have had a Birch with the coverage on that particular play.
Well, Mark, that was, again, a nice throw over the middle by Bayless. Again, working the short passing game, but the ball fell incomplete. But Centennial tonight is really getting time to throw. Bayless is getting a lot of time behind that big offensive line, and he's just picking that North secondary apart.
And like that time, he set up in the pocket, stepped up in the pocket, and the pass coverage was around him. 3rd and 12 for the Golden Hawks. North showing blitz. Are they coming? There's a draw play to Andrew Stubbe. Hey, Burton, first down and more, 20-15. Stays on his feet. It's a touchdown, Golden Hawks. But hold everything. They may bring it back. It's holding against Centennial. They call it very early in that run. What a great run by Andrew Stubbe. He broke some tackles with the final 15 yards on his own. But unfortunately for the Golden Hawks, that play will come back.
Oh, yes,
Mark. That's fortunate for North High.
Again, Stubbe made a nice cut to the outside, broke a tackle, and then used his speed to gallop into the end zone. Like that word gallop. You don't hear that word anymore, but he galloped into the end zone.
You know, the thing about him, he's so shifty in the open field. When there's one man or two guys out there, he's not going to run into them. He's going to make a fake, and generally goes by him, but he has that explosiveness, that acceleration. Once he sees the end zone, he smells it like Jerry Rice. I mean, he wants to get there as quick as he can.
And he's been very effective getting there, too.
Yeah, he's got a lot of touchdowns.
Yeah, that was about a 35-yard run.
10 this year already. He scored 10 touchdowns.
Right, a 35-yard touchdown run called back because of holding. But again, it doesn't take away the fact that Centennial now is really doing whatever they want on offense. They're running the ball wide. They're starting to open up some holes, run up the middle, and their passing game has been effective tonight, too. So they've really got North on the run.
Remember I talked about North showing blitz, and they did a draw play. They faked the draw. Bayless passing over the middle to Smith. Incomplete, just overthrown. Pretty good coverage by North. Seiler over there. Pass was close. Nice play by Centennial, but North, got to give credit to the defense of North. And they're only down 14-0, 8:27 to play in the first half. The Stars will get the ball back.
Well, Mark, again, North single covering in the secondary. And again, Smith, the junior tight end, was open again by a step. He had a step on the defensive back. Again, North committing to the run, and Centennial is hurting them with the short passing game.
And a punt is blocked by North High, and the Stars will get it inside Centennial territory. Number 46 for the recovery for North High. The punt attempt by Nick Echeverry, and North was exploding.
Well, Mark, one mistake Chris Johnson made there, number 46, was that he punted the ball, but instead of trying to pick up and run, he fell on it. And when you're behind 14-0, I think in the special teams, you need to be cognizant of the fact that you need a big play. And I think he could have picked that ball up and run with it instead of falling on the ball because it was 4th down. So I think that was a mistake by the secondary and by the special teams of North High. Should have ran that ball.
No, the ball and gains about 2 yards on the wide play. Like Centennial had a chance to drop him for 4 or 5 yards. Davis on the stop for Centennial.
Mark, even though Chris Johnson did come up and make the block on it, as a defensive back and as a special team player, you're taught to make big plays. And what he should have done in that play was pick that ball up and run with it, because really North needs a touchdown. Getting the ball like he did was better than nothing, but you've got to look at big plays and try to make big plays, and there was no reason to fall on that ball because there was nobody around him.
North with the ball to Centennial 41-yard line. Hatton play action. They're coming at him. He throws it, wobbles it out there, but it's complete on the far side. First down to Birch. It didn't look pretty, but it was effective, and they had to get rid of it because the Golden Hawks were coming from both sides.
Mark, that was about a 36-yard pass from Hatton to Birch, and now North is in business. Their first effective pass today. He went down the left flat. Centennial was in single coverage, and Birch beat the defensive back on single coverage down the left sideline for a 36-yard reception.
Well, we know Birch has some speed. He waited for that one. Big opportunity for North High. 7:14 to play in the first half. First and goal. Conley to the outside, dragged down from behind. And now a late flag. Is that a face mask or a personal foul? Because the ref call is very late after the tackle was made. It's face mask against the Golden Hawks. Probably inadvertently, they brought down the ball carrier by the face mask, reaching for something. Normally when a ball carrier slips like that, falls to the ground like that, generally is a face mask.
Well, Mark, that was a nice play by Justin Davis, the middle linebacker. He came in and made the tackle, but also inadvertently grabbed the face mask. The number 44, the middle linebacker for Centennial.
So in one essence, it was a good play, and in one essence, it wasn't. So positive and negative. First and goal for the Stars at a 4. You got to put it in from here, at least in 4 plays. Deep in the red zone. Power play up the middle. And the Golden Hawks putting up a stonewall defense. Number 85, the tackle for the Golden Hawks. Second and goal for the Stars, just inside the 4, so they're saying they gained 1 yard, maybe 3.5 yards from the goal line.
But Mark, when you have Jeff McCraig in there and Lonnie Jones in there and Brian Kitchen in there in the secondary in the defensive line for Centennial, it makes it very difficult to run the football up the middle.
And we have a timeout by North, 6:22 to play in the first half. Centennial 14, North High nothing. North with a second and goal from just inside of 4. North needs a play action.
I think so, Mark, because like I already noted, and you've got Kitchen and Jones in there and McCraig in there, 3 guys away over 250. It makes it really difficult to run the ball straight up the middle. So what they need,
the Green Bay Packers or the Dallas Cowboys.
Right, well, in this case they're not. But what they do need is, they need, like you say, a play action pass, something wide. You know, I would look for Conley maybe on a pass out into the flat so he can use his speed to get into the end zone. But something to utilize the North speed and get away from that size of Centennial in the defensive front.
But the other question is, would Conley's speed be effective against Centennial?
Well,
it's been effective against some of the other teams, but they are so quick to the outside. Would that type of play work? We'll see.
Well, I don't know if it'll work or not, but I think it's pretty much at the 4-yard line. You're pretty much asking for trouble when you try to take on Lonnie Jones, McCraig, and pitching up the middle. Right. I think your best bet is to go wide, and I think you'd agree with that.
Well, the Golden Hawks defense standing in there, second and goal from the 3 for North High. As they're down 14-0. Hatton with the count. Has a keeper, fakes it, tries to go forward. Still, he might only pick up possibly a half yard or a yard. It's really hard to see from our vantage point. Number 85 with another tackle for Centennial. Mike Swan, actually 2 consecutive tackles for the Golden Hawks. Third and goal from the 3. North just basically inching forward. Have really a key down here. They don't make it, whether they go for the field goal or go for the touchdown. They need some points on this drive. They'd like to get 7, but they need a minimum of 3. You got to get some points.
Well, Mark, was it a few weeks ago in Bakersfield only scored 1 touchdown against them. Last week, Garcia's just got a field goal. So they're in their 3rd week, and really it's very difficult to put the ball in the end zone against that stout defense.
Full house backfield for the Stars behind Hatton. Third and goal from the 2. Number 40, the ball carrier. That fumbles the ball. Do the Golden Hawks have it? Yes, they do. A crunching hit put on number 40 by North High, and Centennial comes away with it. The Centennial defense rising to the occasion once again.
Well, Mark, Kenny Souza, number 40 for North, tried to get a second effort, and they stripped him of the ball. Again, though, he would not have gotten in the end zone. But again, a full house backfield for North. North is trying to go right at that strong defensive line, and it's just not working. Centennial's been up to the occasion tonight.
Well, Kenny Souza was a ball carrier for North. I don't think he's carried the ball one time tonight. I guess they thought he had some speed. And it wasn't really much of an opening. And as you said, he tried that second effort. He was clenched back there by the Centennial defense.
Well, Mark, when you're 170, trying to run against that strong defensive line and the size of that defensive line, it makes it very difficult when you only weigh 170 like Kenny Souza does.
Well, they ran that play. They ran a quarterback option. They were a little stubborn on that drive, trying to run the ball up the middle against Centennial, whether it's off tackle, off guard. And I think they really needed to pass the ball, do a play action, because you've got to open up that defense. And so North comes away with nothing. They should have minimum had at least 3 points there. Centennial with the ball, 6 minutes to play in the first half. Stubbe stays on his feet, gets across the 5 to about the 6. There wasn't much there, but he was fighting all the way.
What Centennial wants to do here, Mark, is they want to get a little better field position, and they're going to run Stubbe and Echeverry right now, use some of the clock, try to develop a little better field position before he throws the football. He's happy with a 14-0 lead.
You know, when you think about it, North blocked the punt. How did they get down deep into Centennial territory with a pass to Birch? Once they got down there, they didn't really try to pass at all. It's very difficult to score inside the 5-yard line against a team where the line is 270 pounds. There's not much room. You got to open it up. 2nd and 8 for the Golden Hawks. The running backs behind. They have a long count, and I believe they draw North High offsides unless an offensive lineman move for the Golden Hawks.
Mark, that was a smart play by Velos. He changed the cadence and drew North into the neutral zone, offside penalty.
Of course, we wanted to get a little more elbow room from deep in their own territory. That helps. You have a 2nd down and short situation for Centennial as the ball is at their own 11-yard line, so it gives them a little more breathing room, at least the offense. North's job is to come up strong defensively. He's to throw play action. Has a man open. Cut play. He'll go all the way. Number 20, 10, touchdown, Golden Hawks. That is a long play. 89 yards.
Mark, again, single coverage on Jared Bratcher. He was 5 yards behind the North defensive back there. Again, North High trying to stack up the middle, but Centennial has not been stubborn tonight. They've been flexible. And when they see single coverage on the outside, Velos knows that they haven't been able to handle Bratcher all night. He went down the right sideline on a streak pattern, caught the ball, and like you say, made an 85-yard touchdown jaunt.
Well, I knew he'd go all the way once he caught the ball. That pass caught him in stride. Beautiful protection, great throw, and it was just a track race. And no competition. The ball is up and good by Long. 4:41 to play. Centennial has answered North twice tonight with touchdowns.
Well, one thing that Centennial's doing tonight is even though North High is not a single covering the outside wideouts, they're not getting to the quarterback. They have 9-man front mark. They're rushing 8 and 9 men, and Velos still has time to throw the ball deep. And when you commit 9 men to the pass rush and you don't get to the quarterback, you single cover the wideouts, you're going to be in big trouble. You've got to get to the quarterback, and you commit 9 guys.
And I think Velos had only thrown 4 touchdowns coming into the game tonight, and he's been in terror at quarterback this evening. Of course, the protection helps. He's been throwing the ball very well, getting Bratcher on single coverage for some long passes. He's been throwing the ball well short. He started throwing effectively in that first drive and hasn't let up. This is somewhat of a different type of offensive flow for Centennial, throwing from their own 11-yard line and a post pattern. But like you said, they've had a protection, so they might as well go for it. North's going to stick 8 and 9 men on the line of scrimmage, and Centennial's keeping them down. You don't have a lot of DBs back there to cover your long man. So North is gambling, and they are coming up empty with a capital lead. Timeout, 4:41 to play in the first half. Centennial 21, North nothing. You're watching a Prep Football Game of the Week exclusively on Time Warner Cable, Channel 52.
The ravages of time. Just like paint, tape can oxidize, and oxygen is slowly eating away your most cherished family videos. A baby's first steps, first words, first birthday. These memories, once lost, can never be recovered. You can't stop time, but you can fight oxidation by duplicating your videos at Time Warner Productions. Our state-of-the-art repair and duplication services can help preserve your memories for future generations. Time Warner Productions, located at 3600 North Select Avenue in the Time Warner Cable Building.
We'd like to thank our sponsors for tonight's game, Prep Football on Time Warner Cable, Channel 52, Coca-Cola, Cinnamon Cyclone, Got Shots, and AJ's Tuxedo Junction. If you'd like a copy of tonight's game, duplication, a dub, call Time Warner 322-1941, 322-1941. North with the ball, trying to run it against Centennial on the left side. Brian Kitching making the stop for Centennial on a first down run. The Golden Hawks with a 21-0 lead, and they have dominated this first half, defensively and offensively.
Well, Mark, I've been impressed with that passing game of Centennial. Where has it been all year? I mean, this team has really developed the passing game, and they're going to need that as they get farther down and they get into the playoffs. They're going to have to throw the ball, and tonight they showed that they can't throw, and he's got the receivers to throw to.
Well, I think they were giving George Velos time to be confident at quarterback. He was a JV quarterback last year. He's a junior. And they wanted to bring him along very slowly, and they have. Patton going deep, double coverage on Neal, and the pass is incomplete. Jason Wall, number 22, one of the guys back there for Centennial. So Centennial is double covering the deep receiver for North.
Well, Mark, Scott Neal is a good-sized receiver for North High, and I really think he can do some damage in the Centennial secondary. If the quarterback Hatton gets enough time to throw, he's one man they can look at because he's got good hands, good speed, and I think he can do some damage. So that's one man that everybody ought to be looking at here as we go and wrap up halftime.
You know, Neal had a great game against East High, had a couple of runs in his wingback position, caught 4 passes, had an interception. But it's a little tougher against the Centennial Golden Hawks. They simply have better athletes in East High, and their defense has just been unbelievable tonight.
Well, Mark, North, again, continues to run north and south. In that situation there, Lonnie Jones made the tackle. You're just not going to run against that big size of the defensive line.
Number 73.
They're dominating the middle. We said earlier in the pregame show that whoever would win the line of scrimmage would win this football game, and both teams wanted to run. And right now, Centennial's been more successful.
Boyce with a punt from North. In over in. Number 24 breaks tackle, spin move. Inside the 45 to about the 43. But excellent field position by the Golden Hawks. Once again, for the second time here in the first half. Returned by Chris Branson. Chris Branson, Jared Bratcher. For some reason, I always get their names mixed up. They played last year for the Golden Hawks. Both have a lot of speed. Both can run the ball. They can return kicks, and they do so much for the Centennial Golden Hawks team. One is 20, one's 24. They also have a very speedy number 22, Jason Wall, who plays free safety. So you have 20, 22, and 24, all about the same size. Velos, Cachavari, cuts inside, has more. Inside the 35 to about the 33, stays on his feet.
Mark, one thing I think if the fans look at the viewers look at tonight's game, is they see the way Centennial's running backs, Echeverry and Waugh and Stubbe, they got great balance, great footwork. Very difficult for one man to bring them down. They continue to move for extra yards. They go north and south all the time. That's great coaching by the Centennial coaching staff to get these guys with that great balance and great footwork. Because right now, those running backs have that good footwork.
Echeverry and Stubbe in there behind George Velos for the Golden Hawks, 2:28 to play. Velos on the keeper, has a good running room. Knocked forward, has the first down inside the 30 to about the 27. George looking pretty good running the football tonight. This time going to the right. Other time he helped set up a touchdown. as they ran from left to right. Of course, that blocking definitely does help. Penalty against Centennial, a clip.
Mark, one player I want to mention for North, Paul Guerrero, 5'11", 185, made the tackle that time. Senior for North High, plays the outside linebacker spot. But he's been really all over the field. You just don't hear his name a lot. But he's done a great job for North High tonight defending against Centennial's run and pass.
Second down for the Golden Hawks, 2nd and 9. Clock at 2:10 to play. Justin Roberts wide to the left for Centennial. Stubbe to single running back behind George Valos. Valos, there's a play action. Has protection, breaks down momentarily, pass over the middle, cut play! That's a Smith. First down, caught from behind. 1st and 10 for the Golden Hawks. Boy, Jamie Smith has been open over the middle for the Golden Hawks tonight. He is adding to that reception total that he had coming in, but he's been very impressive for a tight end.
Mark, again, 36-yard reception by the tight end, Smith, and they're just getting all kinds of time to throw tonight. I mean, they're rushing 8, 9 guys. They're just not getting to the quarterback, Valos. He's having all kinds of time to throw. He had about 4 seconds that time and just put the ball right over the middle on the post pattern. Successful catch. First down for Centennial.
Well, Centennial's passing game has come out of the closet tonight. 1:35 to play in the first half. Full house backfield for the Golden Hawks. Andrew Stubbe out the right side, close to the goal line. He says he has it, but his knee might have touched down at the 1 or 2 yard line. He doesn't just sniff that goal line, he smells it. Wants to steam in there.
Well, on the play, Justin Woltz made the tackle for North, the defensive end, did a good job. He's also had a fine game tonight, Mark. Solid football player, Justin Woltz. One thing for the TV viewers to look for tonight for North High, number 43, defensive end.
We talked about him a lot, number 43 for the Stars. The clock winding down to 55 seconds. Centennial wants more. They lead 21-0. That full house bouncing once again. North straight up there. I think there's Echeverry the ball. Hayes into the end zone. Touchdown. Centennial Golden Hawks.
Well, Mark, another situation where both teams were on about the 4 yard line, but Centennial's offensive line just a little bit bigger, a little bit stronger. They were able to punch it in, whereas North High on their last series was not able to punch the ball in from the 4 yard line. I really believe, Mark, like you, the turning point in this game was Seiler's kickoff run. Start the game, they get to about the 10 yard line, they don't make any yards at all. They missed a field goal, and from that point on, it's been all Centennial. I think if North could have got off to a start where they could have scored quickly, got some confidence, and they might have been able to stay in this football game, but when they were not able to do that off the bat, I think they kind of had a little bit of a letdown there, and from that point on, it's been all Centennial, but you can't take anything away from Centennial's offense either tonight. I mean, the defense always plays well, but on the Centennial, and the offense has really been the key with throwing the football tonight. Valos has just done a great job throwing, and that's really been the surprise in looking at Centennial's attack. And let me tell you something, they can throw the football, and this really bodes well for them as they get deeper into the season and also in the playoffs, Mark, that they're a potent offensive force.
Well, they want to make their mark in the Yosemite Division playoffs this year. Last year they got to the semifinals, and this year they'd like to at least get that far, if not farther. And like you said, you have to have a passing attack, I think. You're playing the strong teams in the Yosemite Division Central Section playoffs, and those, of course, would include some of those Clovis schools who generally play at a higher level than most of the other teams in the valley, with the exception of BHS or Centennial. And they play at a different level. North guys don't even bother looking at the ball. It basically just goes over their head through the end zone. So North has not had a run back tonight. They will start 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line. 45 seconds to play in the first half. 28-0 Centennial.
Well, Mark, the special teams have been effective tonight. Bratcher especially, even Chris Branson's been effective on the special teams. Those two players. The kicking game's been great. Tackling's been crisp tonight. They've been very aggressive. The offense has really been smooth tonight. Great time, a great amount of time for Valos to throw. He hasn't been sacked once. Hasn't even been hurried at all. He's been able to complete his passes deep. He's been able to complete his passes short, and they've been able to run Stubbe. They've done everything tonight.
We know why Centennial's been so sharp tonight. They knew their game would be on Time Warner Cable, Channel 52.
Well, that
the second time in a couple of weeks.
Well, that says it all right there.
We brought them good fortune in their game against BHS. at Golden Hawk Stadium when they won 14-10. Of course, that one went down to the wire as the defense came up with 4 solid plays in a row. When BHS had a 1st and 10 from the 12 tonight, they have dominated from the outset, and I don't think we'll have the same type of ending as they lead at 28-0.
Why don't you mention it to Coach Stubbe after the game about being on Time Warner and how well they play when they're on?
Well, a lot of people came up to me after that game last night, and they watched the games on Time Warner. Conley, the ball carrier, a good run off the 25 to the 27. We have a lot of viewers from Centennial High School. After 2 quarters from Turk Eliadis Field on the campus of North High School, Centennial 28, North High nothing. You are watching the high school football game of the week exclusively on Time Warner Cable, Channel 52.
Excuse me, is that tuxedo from AJ's?
Let AJ's get you noticed. A Bakersfield tradition for over 25 years, specializing in Pierre Cardin, Christian Dior, Oscar de la Renta, and Calvin Klein. AJ's Tuxedo Junction, with 3 great locations to serve you.
True or false? Pain is nothing compared to what it feels like to give in.
Powerade. Power to working muscles when you need it.
I am not done.
Get back into the game with Powerade. This game is brought to you by Powerade and your Coca-Cola bottler in Bakersfield. Powerade, you are not done.
The more you shop, the more you'll save during Gottschalk's Super Saturday Sale. Get a $10 certificate good towards future purchases for every $50 you charge on your Gottschalk's card. And that's on top of great savings like Mrs. and Petite's Fleece Stadium jackets, 25% off. Men's Shaver Lake knit shirts, 33% off. Your choice of feather bed or fiber bed, just $59.99 any size. And save 40% on open stock Blue Danube China. So shop the Super Saturday Sale. For the more you shop, the more you'll save. Only at Gottschalk's.
It was a day like any other. Mom was baking her famous cinnamon rolls when suddenly the skies grew dark and the winds began to blow. There was no mistake, a cyclone was coming. We ran for cover just in time. And when we returned, the most incredible thing had happened.
Oh, my.
With a taste that'd make your taste buds spin, people came from miles around for just one bite. And you will too, at Cinnamon Cyclone.
Cinnamon Cyclones is now open at 18th and Chester, so stop by. We'll make your taste buds spin.
We begin the 3rd quarter from Turk Eliadis Field on the campus of North High School. It is Centennial 28 and North High nothing. First half dominated by Centennial, especially their defense.
Right, Mark. Centennial really put it together offensively, defensively, and of course, what can you say about the passing game? The passing game was very effective. Belos, the most successful outing he's had all year.
He looked great in the first half. By the way, making it possible for us to bring you these games on Time Warner Cable Channel 52 are these outstanding sponsors: Coca-Cola, Cinnamon Cyclone, Gottschalk's, and AJ's Tuxedo Junction.
Mark, I go to Gottschalk's all the time.
I don't rent tuxedos too often, just every once in a while. Kickoff underway, comes to Centennial, the Golden Hawks. They fumble it, pick it back up. And the Golden Hawks will have it at their own 25, 1st and 10. Jesse Morales on the return. The ball kind of bounced to him. So we begin the second half with North being down 28-0. They had a couple of chances to score. One after the opening kickoff by Seiler, took it down to the 12. North couldn't score on the ground or through the air, and then the kicker, Bobby Boyce, missed a 27-yard field goal. And then later, when they were down only 14-0, they had a 1st and goal from the Centennial 4. And on the 3rd down play, they fumbled and Centennial recovered. So Centennial D is coming up big all throughout the game, and especially on 2 very important series. And that's why they lead it by 4 touchdowns. Andrew Stubbe fighting his way up to the 30-31-yard line. You know, when that guy gets hit, he's always putting his head down and driving for more. Just a ball player that never gives up.
Well, Mark, I think the North defense will probably be a little more successful here in the second half because the 8 or 9 men front will be more effective. I think we'll see Centennial make a concerted effort to keep the ball on the ground, use up some of the clock now, leading 28-0. They don't have to throw the ball as much. So I think you're going to see them try to run the football and just stick it right up the gut and see if they can push North High back like they did in the first half.
Andrew Stubbe had a couple of touchdowns in the first half. Echeverry had a 3-yard run for a score. And of course, Bratcher had the other one. Centennial's keeping the ball on the ground. Echeverry on the carry. It'll be 3rd down for the Golden Hawks. Jared Bratcher with some fine receptions for Centennial in the first half. One of those was an 81-yard TD reception on a post pattern. The quarterback probably threw from close to his own end zone, had plenty of time to throw. He beat the single coverage and just sprinted probably the last 45 yards for the score.
Well, I don't have the official stats with me, but I can tell you Mark Velos threw for close to 200 yards in the first half alone.
He only had over 400 yards coming in through 5 games. There's a play action over the middle, passes high to Smith, but that play has been open for him all game long. Smith was inside of the defender. If he would have thrown it lower, they would have had a reception. So that play has worked very effectively for the Golden Hawks tonight.
Well, Mark, we want to give credit to Dustin Krell in that time, the defensive linebacker for North. He did stay with Smith a little bit better, forced him pass a little bit higher by the quarterback Velos because the coverage was a little better. So we give North credit that time for staying on the receiver.
Echeverry had a punt blocked in the first half, standing back there. His own 20. Short step. Wobbles it, and North lets it bounce. You got to pick that one up, and you're down 20-0. Dustin Cralin back there, and that definitely was a catchable ball. It rolls by another 15 yards for the Golden Hawks. You know, when you're down 20-0, you have to be somewhat aggressive, especially when you're a punt return. We've talked about that in some other games. And when we've seen guys back there in punts, letting the ball drop inside the 20-yard line, then it's down to 2 or 3.
Well, Mark, in that situation there, that ball could have been caught at about the 28-yard line. So it was a makeable catch, but he should have fair catched it. But again, the special teams for Centennial have come through tonight. The special teams of North have not made the big plays, and that's another thing that's hurt them tonight.
Having a quarterback for North. Ball to the left side, most likely to Conley. On a short run for the North Stars. 10 minutes to play in the third quarter, 28-0 Centennial. The Centennial fans are in front of us here at North High School. North, the opposite direction. North is on the north side of the field, where they have been so many years.
Mark, this school has a lot of tradition. Even when I was in high school, which was ages ago, I played a game here. So North High has had this football field really since the 50s, when it was Turk Iliadic field. I love it.
Well, I guess this school has been here since sometime in the 50s, in the mid to late 50s. 2nd and 8 for the Stars. Red and gray. Patton rolling to his right, heavy rush, throws it. Intercepted by Andrew Stubbe. Breaks the tackle to the 10. Gets a block. Touchdown, Centennial. And the Golden Hawk defense made that play. Had throwing on the run under heavy pressure. Stubbe in the right place at the right time. Another touchdown for him, this time from the defensive end.
Well, Mark Hatton play action pass on that. He faked to Conley, rolled out to his right, didn't fool anybody on Centennial's team. They had heavy pressure on him. He threw the ball a little bit before he wanted to. Stubbe, playing a zone in the secondary, just came up and made the interception and made a 23-yard touchdown run. Another touchdown run, 34-0 Centennial.
Andrew has 3 scores tonight. Long blast that PAT, and that's good. 9:19 to play in the third quarter. Centennial 35, North nothing. Centennial doing it all ways, special teams, offense, and defense against the North Stars tonight. And as far as I can remember, that's the second time this year that Andrew Stubbe has returned the interception for a score. He has 10 touchdowns on the ground this year. Knows how to score. And the Golden Hawks defense put the pressure on the quarterback. Threw the ball very quickly. I don't think anybody was in the vicinity, and Stubbe in the right place at the right time, which has been the case for the Centennial defense all night long.
Well, Mark, we have a correction on that. It was number 45, Coons, who made the interception.
Coons, number 45.
You know, he looks so much like...
so we take a TD away from Andrew Stubbe.
He already has too many anyway. But I'll tell you, all those Centennial defensive backs look the same to me. Whether it's 25, 45,
What else
30,
interesting is that
20.
Andrew Stubbe generally plays left corner on the side.
Sure look like 25 to me, but I'll tell you, all those Centennial defensemen look the same after a while. They're all making big plays tonight. That was number 45, Coons, who made that play correction there. But they are all just doing the job tonight for Centennial. Everybody is in the right place.
Long with a kickoff, and North can just watch it sail through the end zone. It has been a team effort for the Centennial Golden Hawks tonight. And we have mentioned Coons' name on other occasions this evening for Centennial. They made it 35-0. And North will have it 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line.
Well, Mark, again, in that last situation, again, the secondary of Centennial playing a zone. But again, the difference is Hatton is not getting the kind of time to throw. He's having to throw the ball before he wants to. Whereas Centennial, Bayless is getting all the time in the world, and that's really been the difference. Centennial is just, their defense just done a solid job, and North just has no time at all to really set up and throw anything deep, so they're struggling on their offense.
Jason Conley across the 20 to about the 25. North generally will run on 1st down and try to pass on 2nd or 3rd. They haven't had the ball that much tonight. Centennial's made some big plays. Also, they have been able to use up a lot of the clock.
Well, Mark, one thing about when you run on 1st down all the time, it really makes you predictable, because then on 2nd, 3rd down, the Centennial defense knows you're going to be throwing the ball, and then they just take off after the quarterback.
Jason Wong plays free safety. Generally for the Golden Hawks, he's warming up on the sideline. He is the backup quarterback for Centennial. Chris Branson with the tackle for the Golden Hawks. Bratcher's in there, number 20, playing free safety for the Golden Hawks now on defense.
Well, Mark, Todd Seiler made that last run there for North High. Short gain there. Again, North sticking to the running game, trying to power that ball up the middle. Coach O'Brien eventually here is going to have to try to open the ball up. And, you know, take the chances. If you make a mistake, it really doesn't matter now, 35-0. I put the ball in the air.
Plus 3rd and 3 for North. 8 minutes plus to play in the 3rd quarter. They're down 35-0. They split backfield behind Hatton. First wide to left. Reverse to Neal. And they drop him in the backfield. Excellent penetration by the Golden Hawks, especially number 77, Brian Kitching. That play worked for North twice against East. Tonight against Centennial, he loses about 5 yards.
Mark, 2 players for Centennial who've done an excellent job in the secondary is Ezel, the right corner, and also you've got to give a lot of credit to Jason Waugh, the free safety, number 22. He has been all over the field defensively, coming up and making big stops, also doing a great job helping out the corners, double teaming the receivers for North High. So Jason Waugh really has been the outstanding defensive back for Centennial tonight.
Even though he is warming up on the sideline, he's back there to return this punt. And the Golden Hawks let it bounce. They go to about the 39-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Golden Hawks. 7:13 to play in the 3rd. 35-0 in favor of Centennial over the North High Stars. On Time Warner Cable Channel 52, Mark and Dennis Heffernan. That's not the NFL player. Is it Michael Perry to the press box?
Michael Dean Perry. Remember him, Mark? What a football player he was.
Oh, yeah.
Mark, you know what really impressed me about
Jason Wallwood playing QB for Centennial, number 22.
What really impressed me about Centennial is their special teams have just been excellent tonight. You got Chris Branson and Jason Wall both active to receive that ball. What explosiveness do you have there, boy? You have some great runners right there for Centennial.
Jeff Unfried wide to the left for Centennial. Well, on a keeper, gains about 3 or 4 yards. Jason is a very good runner, as you probably would imagine. And was a backup quarterback last year behind Mandalaris. As a backup this year, primarily plays on defense, returns punts, but he is a very good athlete, a great baseball player for the Golden Hawks and Randy Roberts. And you might see them run more of an option attack with him in there right now.
Well, Mark, they want to run the football now. They've got a big enough lead right now. They want to use the clock. So Jason Wall is the better runner of the two between him and Baylor, so they're going to be using him to run the football more.
Still have Echeverria at fullback and have a new tailback, Brian Morales. And he has the ball for Centennial. He gets stuck in the backfield and dropped back. Morales this year has scored 4 touchdowns, had a big one against DHS, and it averaged over 5 yards a carry for the Golden Hawks. Souza with the tackle. Kenny Souza, number 40, will attack for North High. He's one that fumbled for the Stars when he was hit inside the 5-yard line by the Golden Hawks in the first half. That prevented North from scoring what would have been their only touchdown tonight. Third down, 3rd and 7. Waugh, the keeper, has a first down. Jason Waugh showing explosiveness and quickness on that option run. Talked about his running ability into North High territory to 49.
Mark, on that play, a good tackle by Todd Sankowitz of North High coming up and making a stop and really keeping Waugh from really making a touchdown there. So Sankowitz only 145 pounds, really came up and made a great stick on Waugh.
Jason Waugh for the North High 49. 5:30 to play in the third. Takes the pitch out. Waugh cuts it back. He has some more room. Stays on his feet to about the 40-yard line. He looks good in those quarterback keepers.
Well, Mark,
runs it wide, uses up the clock.
They've been very effective with Waugh running to the outside. North getting a little bit tired defensively, and Waugh's been able to get outside on him. And then, of course, with that option there, he just really freezes that defensive end and has been running inside the defensive end and getting upfield, turning upfield, and he's making some big chunks of yardage there.
Well, he and George Velos were splitting up time, I think, the first couple of games, and they named George the starting quarterback. But Jason wants to see some time at QB, and he's getting that time tonight. That's where the ball carrier at the middle. Powers his way for 4 or 5 yards. Inside the 40 to about the 36, 37-yard line.
Well, Mark, one thing good about Centennial is that they have kind of a balance at quarterback. Velos can come in and throw the football, and Waugh can come in and run the football. So you really have kind of a dual-purpose role there for these quarterbacks. One's more effective runner, the other one's a passer, which really makes it difficult for the defense, and it also gives Centennial a good balance on offense.
And they proved to be very beneficial somewhere down the line this year. Unfreed wide to the left for the Golden Hawks. Split back behind Waugh. Morales, the ball carrier. Good speed, 30, cuts back. Stays on his feet to the 20. First down, Morales inside the 15-yard line. Jesse Morales, number 42 for the Golden Hawks. Scott Neal making the tackle for North.
Well, Mark Morales, 5'9", 165 junior. He's a tailback of the future for next year. He looks like the man next year.
You got to wait your time here. Remember, last year was Jared Clark, who had well over 1,000 yards. Now, he did not become the primary rusher until he was a senior. Stubbe played behind him last year. Stubbe, the man this year, is a senior. And Morales, seeing limited time but being very effective as a junior, playing behind Stubbe at tailback. 3:45 to play. Waugh pitches back the last minute to Morales. He's hit and dropped by Conley at the 15. Waugh really took a lick as he pitched it out the last second to Morales.
Well, Mark, Centennial has a bevy of good backs. I mean, not only do they have Stubbe, they have Echeverry, now they have Morales. I mean, they can really throw a lot of runners at you. Some big, some not, but all of them have determination, great balance, and they have a lot of strength.
3:15 to play in the third quarter. And we have a 35-0 game in favor of the Golden Hawks. Deep in North territory inside the 20 to 15. Receivers split to each side. Split backs behind Jason Waugh. There's Morales looking for the block. Decides to cut back. North strings it out very well. And they drop him. They lose about 3 or 4.
Mark Paul Guerrero that time had a great stop.
Paul Guerrero making a lot of stops for North High tonight.
And North High's had a lot of good individual playing tonight, Mark. Guerrero's done a good job. Woltz has done a good job, defensive end for North High. And they've had some individual players that have done well, but it's just so much size and talent on the Centennial side. And North just really been overwhelmed tonight.
Now the Golden Hawks are bringing in new receivers at every 2 or 3 plays. 2:25 to play in the third, 35-0. Waugh with the play action. Over the middle, it is incomplete. Trying to hit his tight end. Good coverage by North High. Incomplete. Abernathy, the intended receiver for the Golden Hawks. 4th down for Centennial.
A little surprised there that he tried to pass there. They have a 35-0 lead. You'd think maybe Stubbe might keep the ball on the ground there a little bit, Mark. They don't really need any more points, but you want your players to be effective out there and try hard. But I think I might have kept the ball on the ground there. I don't really think there's any reason to be throwing the ball in this situation.
Long with a field goal try. That's about a 35, 36-yarder by Long. They set it up at the 25 or 26-yard line. And he makes the 3 points, 38-0 Centennial. You know, if you have a quarterback like Jason Waugh on 3rd and 13, he has the ability to pick up that much-needed yards for the first down.
Well, I think in that situation, Stubbe was running, passing the ball because it was 13 yards they needed. So he went for the field goal. But again, you can't fault Centennial for anything tonight. They have just been awesome tonight. This is the best game that I've seen any high school team play this year that I can remember watching. I mean, they're solid offensively, defensively, and I think the big surprise has been the passing game tonight, Mark. It really has been crisp. And ever since they beat BHS, they've become a different team, a lot more confidence now. And right now, Vegas is going to have to hustle to do as good a job right now as Centennial. They're number 4 in the Valley. They earned that number 4 tonight.
Well, they were number 4 coming in. BHS was number 5 in the central section. Clovis West was number 1, I believe, because Redwood was defeated last week.
The market was Clovis West number 1, Buchanan number 2, Redwood number 3, Centennial number 4, and then Bakerson number 5, and Clovis number 6. We don't care about the rest of them.
3 Clovis schools up there. I think Golden West is undefeated. He's probably behind Buchanan. Long with a kickoff. They have a chance to run this out. That is Seiler, the 5'10", off the middle. They try to strip him. He falls forward. They cross the 20 to about the 26-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Stars. 2:07 to play in the 3rd quarter. Centennial 38, North High nothing.
Well, Mark, again, a situation where the special teams of Centennial gang tackling. North ran the ball back, just got to the 26-yard line. Centennial just doesn't give up anything big, except for that first kickoff today that Seiler got down to the 12-yard line. They have been rock solid on special teams, and they just don't make any mistakes. They're a well-coached team.
Azell coming over to cover for Centennial on Burke, one-on-one coverage. They calling the ball carry off the right side. Doesn't pick up much. Some new players into the game for the Golden Hawks. Kyle Bynum making the tackle for Centennial. 1:45 to play in the 3rd. The Golden Hawks with a commanding 38-0 advantage.
Yes, I think they've called off the horses here in the second half now, and just want to get the ball on the ground and use some of this clock and get out of here with a victory for Centennial.
Pitch back to Seiler, bobbles it, and Centennial falls on it. Now we have a late flag. That pitch was right in the halfback's hand. He was just running with the ball and dropped it.
Well, that was unfortunate.
Nobody even touched it.
Unfortunate for Seiler. He had the ball right there. He just happened to drop the ball on a pitch out to the right. And Ezell came up and made the tackle.
Well, the penalty is against North High, which they cannot afford. That was after the fumble recovered by Centennial. So the Golden Hawks have it at the 16-yard line with 1:25 to play in the 3rd. Looking for more. Jason Waugh, quarterback, 22. Bynum playing fullback, I believe, number 33. He made a tackle defensively for Centennial. Morales, the tailback, number 42. There's Jesse. Nice block, slipped a little bit, stays on his feet, driving hard. Jesse Morales, close to the first down marker inside the 10, maybe close to the 5-yard line. Guerrero in on the tackle for North.
Mark, a 5'10", 230-pound Trevor Fultz, number 66 for Centennial Reserve, came in and made a nice block for Morales there. So Centennial bringing in some reserves, but even the reserves at 230 are good size. He's a junior.
And they know they have to block if they want some playing time. 50 seconds to play in the 3rd quarter. Centennial in the red zone. Jason Waugh gives it straight up the middle. And the Golden Hawks probably pick up 1 or 2 yards. As they're inside the 5 now. Most likely they will keep it on the ground. Bynum the ball carrier. And he has the first down for Centennial. Bynum playing fullback for the Golden Hawks, number 33. For Jan Stubbe's unit.
He's a future player for next year, junior. He's gotten some playing done tonight, but he's a player they're going to look for next year to take over for Echeverry. Probably play a little fullback and tailback next year.
Bill Richardson, Randy Roberts, Dennis Manning, Jeff Turman, Bill Romley, some of the assistants at Centennial under Jan Stubbe. Morales cuts close to the end zone as the third quarter is winding down. And the third quarter comes to a conclusion from Jordan Turk Eliadis Field at North High. It's Centennial 38, North High nothing. And you're watching Prep Football exclusively on Time Warner Cable, Channel 52.
It was a day like any other. Mom was baking her famous cinnamon rolls when suddenly the skies grew dark and the winds began to blow. There was no mistake, a cyclone was coming. We ran for cover just in time. And when we returned, the most incredible thing had happened.
Oh, my.
With a taste that'd make your taste buds spin, people came from miles around for just one bite. And you will too, at Cinnamon Cyclone.
Cinnamon Cyclones is now open at 18th and Chester, so stop by. We'll make your taste buds spin.
The more you shop, the more you'll save during Gottschalk's Super Saturday Sale. Get a $10 certificate good towards future purchases for every $50 you charge on your Gottschalk's card. And that's on top of great savings like Mrs. and Petite's Fleece Stadium jackets, 25% off. Men's Shaver Lake knit shirts, 33% off. Your choice of feather bed or fiber bed, just $59.99 any size. And save 40% on open stock Blue Danube China. So shop the Super Saturday Sale. Where the more you shop, the more you'll save. Only at Gottschalk's.
Excuse me, is that tuxedo from AJ's?
Let AJ's get you noticed. A Bakersfield tradition for over 25 years. Specializing in Pierre Cardin, Christian Dior, Oscar de la Renta, and Calvin Klein. AJ's Tuxedo Junction with 3 great locations to serve you.
Get in on all the football action with refreshing Coca-Cola Classic. This game is brought to you by your Coca-Cola bottler in Bakersfield. Always for the fans. Always Coca-Cola.
Fourth quarter action from Eliadis Field, North nothing, Centennial 38. Now the Golden Hawks are seeking more.
Well, you know, the reserves get a chance to get in the game here, Mark, in the second half, and, you know, they've got to perform too. I mean, Coach Stubbe looks at this film, and if these players want to get some playing time, they've got to come in and produce. So you've got a lot of competition in Centennial for playing time, so even the ball players like second and third team want to do well.
Jason Wild, the handoff to Morales. It's a touchdown for the Golden Hawks.
Well, Mark, on that last play, number 31, Ron Shearer, a junior, 5'10", 170, helped lay a block for Morales. Another player, another junior coming into the game, getting some playing time. Fundamentally made a nice block and sprung Morales for the jaunt around the right side. Mark, if people want to know what jaunt means, it's J-A-U-N-T, jaunt. It means gallop around the right end, first score. Another score for Centennial, Mark. Another one.
I think I should bring my thesaurus when I'm around you. And Centennial 45, North nothing with Long with another perfect PAT. He has kicked the ball extremely well. Kicked off, I think all but two have not been returned. He kicked a 37-yard field goal. He's kicked every PAT successfully. Hard to fold Centennial with any effort tonight, that's for sure.
Well, Mark, there is one situation that came up, and you noted it earlier in the second quarter, was when it was 14-0, and Birch just caught a nice pass down the left sideline from Hatton. They got down to the 4-yard line and were not able to score. That would have made the score 14-7. Ever since then, North has really been down in the dumps. That was really, in a sense, the only opportunity they had really to score. And I thought they were a little stubborn trying to run the ball on every play instead of maybe a play-action pass, as you noted. And I think ever since then, it's been all Centennial. And North really let a good situation get away there.
That happens a lot in football as a Centennial team with a defensive team gains momentum and confidence to really take the heart and spirit out of their opponents, which they have done tonight against North High. The kickoff comes to North. It bounces. Maybe Long's getting tired. Good news, number 33. Hit hard, stays on his feet. North will have good field position after all 39. Number 33 returning it for the Stars.
Mark, that was Dustin Krellen.
Yes.
Mark, I like the way he runs there. He looked great on that play. That's one of the most impressive plays that Norris had tonight offensively.
So the most impressive play from the kickoff was the opening kickoff return by Seiler. It ran into the Centennial 12-yard line. Long pass from Hatch to Birch.
Well, Mark, it goes to show you, though, it goes to show you when you kick the ball in the end zone, you don't get run-outs. And that goes to show you how important it is to kick the ball in the end zone.
Jason Conley, the ball carrier off the left side, driving those legs, picks up at 2 or 3 yards. Across the 40 to about the 43 goes number 21. He has not had a chance to break anything tonight against that excellent Centennial defense. They're playing a lot of reserves now, but these guys are playing hard, and Centennial are playing very well. Bynum, number 33, has made his presence felt tonight, running from fullback, making a few tackles defensively.
Yes, the fullback linebacker. Again, he was in on that stop. Very impressive player for a junior for Centennial. Kyle Bynum.
Ted Herod, right corner for Centennial in front of us. 34 the ball carrier, first down for North. Number 34. One of their finer runs tonight, Jason Small. Inside Centennial territory to about the 41.
Mark, where has he been tonight? 5'10", 210-pounder, Jason Small. We saw a little bit of him against West High in one of our earlier broadcasts, but I haven't seen his name mentioned at all tonight. He looks like a solid football player, a good runner.
Tackle on the play by number 24, Chris Branson.
Branson making the tackle for Centennial. And it's number 24. So you have a safety coming up to make the hit. 10:50 to play in the game. 45-0 Centennial. North would like to dent that scoreboard, or at least nick it. Ball right hash mark for the Stars. Haddon lost it to Neal. Flag comes down. I guess they're going to call interference on Centennial. Neal turned around for it. Maybe they would call possibly face guarding.
Mark, on that situation, you had a pass interference on Jeff Johnson. He's a freshman out there playing today. So it goes to show you how deep they're going right now.
I don't know if freshmen can play varsity, but I guess he's 15. You can only play, I think, if you're 15 years of age.
Well, they have him at 5'7", 190. Pretty good size for a freshman, wouldn't you say?
Kind of unusual size at 5'7", 190 for a defensive back.
Well, it's possible the program made a mistake, but I'll tell you, he's a well-built kid for a freshman. 5'7", 190. Jeff Johnson.
Huh. Jason Conley, the ball carrier, the right side, and the Golden Hawks stuffing up the North running attack all night long. Wilkins with a tackle for Centennial.
Mark, I wanted
a lot of new people in there.
Mark, I wanted to mention number 64 for North High, a sophomore tackle, 5'11", 230. And he's Danny Thomas, number 64. Done a very good job tonight, really, for North High. He's been playing a lot both ways. And he's really looked solid in there. One stalwart for North High on the offensive line.
High formation for the Stars. Play action for Hatton. Sets up. Now he will go down. Fumbles the ball. Who's going to pick it up? North does. North had a big offensive lineman. Instead of falling on the ball, he tried to pick it up. And they just simply kicked it away from him. Conley comes back up following it. And North loses major yardage.
Well, Mark, that was Chris Woods, senior, 6'2", 330. number 71, who should have probably fell on the ball, tried to pick it up, and he lost it. But that's why he plays the offensive line, not running back.
I guess maybe he thought he was a running back. He was trying to run with it. But in that sense, it's best to fall on the ball and gain control of it.
Well, Mark, at 6'2", 330, he could be another refrigerator Perry. Maybe that's what he thought he was.
Yeah, they gave the ball to the refrigerator inside the 5-yard line. And he just ran north to south. 9 minutes to play in a ball game, 45-0. Centennial North had with another play action. Fires it deep out. I think that's interference against Centennial. And that's a good call by the official, number 21, Ted Hand. If you noticed on that attempted pass to Birch, Hand was kind of holding him with his left arm, so that was a good call by the official.
Yes, Birch had him beat by a step. And
he leaned back into him when the ball was in the air, and he was pushing him with his left arm and holding him. That's a good call by the official. And they get it 15 yards in Heisman. Not like the pros, but they get a penalty on the spot.
Number 21, Ted Hand. A good job of coverage, but like I say, a little contact there, and that's all it takes. And there might be some sympathy for the North High team.
It's not so much the contact to play like that. It's the fact that he basically was pushing off on him. He was holding him. And you can't do that. You could have incidental contact, but you can't hold the guy or push off on him. And he made it very obvious in front of the official. If you're going to do something, you got to do it when the official's not looking. 8:55 to play in a ball game, and 45-0 as, like I said, North would like to get into that end zone. They've been inside the 10 twice tonight. The Centennial D has come up extremely big. Conley hitting the backfield drop. He just has not had a chance to go anywhere tonight.
Well, Mark, they tried
Bynum again making the tackle.
Right, they tried to go wide, they tried to go inside, and it seems like everywhere they go tonight, Centennial has been very effective tonight.
What about Bynum, 33, with his penetration in the backfield? These guys made quite a few tackles here in the fourth quarter. He's very quick.
Well, as a junior, he's getting some more looks tonight, getting some more playing time, and that'll bode well for him down the stretch. Centennial might want to use him more and more in their defensive front.
Collin with the inside handoff. Just got Stumas. Gets past the initial line of scrimmage, but falls forward for only a gain of 3 yards. It's only a second or third carry tonight.
Mark, one player for North who's done good tonight is Jake Wood, 6'1", 230, an offensive lineman, number 57. He's a junior, done a fine job tonight.
Kenny Souza, number 40. 7:55 to play in a ball game. North with the ball on the right hash mark, I formation behind Hatton. Pitch back to Conley. Cuts upfield. Uses pretty good balance, gets to about the 10-yard line. Looks to have a first down for the Stars.
Mark, actually on that play, Bynum again, 5'8", 173. He came up and turned the play inside, and then the pursuit made the tackle. So again, Bynum making a good play defensively for Centennial.
First and 10 for the Stars with 7:20 to play in the game. North mixing up the run and pass effectively in the series. Conley with another carry. Up the middle to the end zone. Touchdown, North High.
Conley looking good up the middle.
Yeah, he carried the ball quite a bit in that drive. Maybe 4 times in the last 6 plays. Zigzagged his way into the end zone. So North does dent the scoreboard. Centennial does not get the shutout. They do not get the goose egg.
And Mark, that was a fine block by the center, Billy Shearer, for North High. Really sprung the hole for Conley to go straight up the middle. Shearer is a senior, 5'11", 195-pound senior for North High. Did a solid job tonight in the interior line, but he's going against Lonnie Jones, which makes it very difficult. He's giving away a lot of weight.
It's always difficult when you have to go up against Lonnie Jones.
I mean, 295 versus basically 195. I mean, you're really at a disadvantage there.
You know, North takes on Stocko next week. Stocko beat Highland for the first win of the season, so they will go into that game with a lot of confidence, the Mustangs. And Centennial plays at South next week. Both games in Southwest Yosemite play.
Now, Mark, where are we going to be next week?
I think we'll be at Arvin as Highland takes on Arvin.
That'll be a That'll be an interesting game on it.
I think that's what's on the schedule.
Right. Highland right now is approaching their losing streak, right? Unbeaten streak. Haven't won a game yet.
It's the Highland Scots and the Arvin Bears. Arvin blew out their first two opponents. In fact, shut them out and hadn't won since then. And of course, you know about some of the situations involving Arvin. But Arvin has a good team year in, year out. Highland has a very young squad. They have some great athletes. About 6 or 7 that graduated last year, guys that were 2- and 3-year players, and Highland's in an in-between stage now. They've had some good teams for a few years, and I had a lot of seniors that graduated last year that were excellent players, and we probably just didn't have a lot of younger people coming up, so it's been a tough season for Highland.
Well, you know, we'll know a little later on the game, but, you know, Arvin tonight playing Foothill, and of course Chamberlain's been there for many, many years, and the tragic death of Yarborough, their senior captain, and that was really a difficult time for the Arvin team, and have to play a game tonight against Foothill. That'll be a very emotional game, so if we do that game next week, we're looking for a stellar performance by Arvin, and hopefully Highland can be competitive also.
Well, you know that Arvin will be competitive playing at home. He doesn't always have the numbers there at Arvin, but they generally play hard. And when they can match up against a team physically, they do very well. The one thing about Arvin, they play BHS very tough. I mean, year in, year out. They play them as well as about any team in their league, with the exception of Foothill.
Well, you know, we talked a little bit about the realignment next year, and with Ridgeview coming in to the Yosemite division, Arvin going into the Sequoia division, that's going to be a pretty much of an interesting matchup with Garces, Tehachapi, and Arvin now in the South Sequoia League. What a game that's going to be, and for what a league that's going to be.
This year, both Tehachapi and Garces beat Arvin when they played, and all 3 schools are rivals of each other, so a chance to renew that. 7:10 to play, 82 for Centennial, takes the ball out of bounds on the kickoff. Unfried has been playing some left corner for the Golden Hawks tonight, 45-6 in favor of Centennial, as that PAT was unsuccessful by the North High Stars. Jason Conley getting the touchdown for North.
Well, it's nice.
Jason Wine, their quarterback for Centennial.
Excuse me. It's nice to see Conley get a score there, Mark. He's worked very hard tonight, and it's been very difficult for him because that Centennial front's been really overpowering North's offensive line. But Conley's quick. He's got speed, and he's got toughness, and he's able to bull his way in for one score tonight to take the goose egg off the score for North High.
Well, he's a very good ball player, but as you know, you have to have some blocking. They're going against that Centennial front, should I say front 7 or 8. It's been very difficult for him to get any running room at all. I mean, half the time when he is taking the handoff from Hatton, there's been 2 or 3 guys on him. When he tries to go to the outside, they flip him off. They're very quick. He tries to cut back, and there's 2 or 3 linebackers there.
Well, I think
Centennial has covered all the bases.
I think early in the game, if Hatton could have thrown the short pass and been more successful at it, it might have loosened the Centennial defense. Without doing that, Centennial has really been able to key on the run and key on Conley, actually, definitely.
Inside handoff for the Golden Hawks. Okay, you see a bunch of jerseys out there. Didn't know who the ball was going to. Nice ball handling by Jason Wall, number 22. Clock winding down, 6:50 to play in the 4th quarter. 45-6 in favor of the Golden Hawks, as they will improve to 5-1 this year. 1-0 in the Southwest Yosemite League. North will fall to 4-2 and 0-2. That's a 4-2 and 0-1 in the SWYL. Wall looking over the defense. North with a 4-man front, 4-3 defense. Jesse Morales. North hanging tough. It'll be 3rd and long for Centennial. I think he has a first down. Gets a first down marker. Collins Sousa, number 40, who's been in on a lot of tackles for North. Conversion on that one for the Stars.
Mark, one player's doing a good job for North tonight in certain situations. Bobby Turney, the left corner, 6'1", 175-pound junior. He's done a good job tonight for North. I want to mention his name out there. Hustling, trying hard in the North secondary.
And as I said, North plays Stockton next week. Centennial's at South. With the pitch back. North converges on it very well. As the ball goes to number 31, Ron Shear. He also is a junior, 170-pound running back for the Golden Hawks. as they have been bringing in a lot of new players since midway through the third quarter.
Well, Mark, that play there was made successful by Kenny Souza, number 40 for North. He's 5'9", 175. He turned the play into the pursuit. So Kenny Souza there making a nice defensive play for North High.
Number 40. We call his name a lot tonight. The 5:25 to play. Centennial 2nd and 8. High formation behind Wall. He keeps it, puts his head down, and gets more across midfield to the 49. Jason Wall with another fine run.
Mark, it looks like Jason Wall wants to get a little more playing time at quarterback. He's just supposed to come in there and just run the clock out. But he doesn't believe in garbage time. He believes in moving the football north and south up the field and looking good, so maybe he'll get more playing time at quarterback. He's not satisfied for being a standout free safety on defense. He wants more action.
When you're an athlete like him, you want to do your best all the time, no matter what the score is. 3rd and 2. Morales with the ball. Cuts back, has a first down and more. To the 40, 35, 30. Look at that speed. He will go the distance. That's a touchdown for the Golden Hawks once again.
Mark, that was a 51-yard touchdown run there. Excuse me, 49-yard touchdown run by Morales. An excellent run. And again, he ran off the left tackle, got a great block, and was able to spring it down the left sideline, just outran the secondary. And you got to give Centennial credit. No matter who they bring in, they are just getting a great push from the offensive line and opening up huge holes. That hole was about 5 yards. Even you and I could have ran through that.
I don't know if my leg would hold up. Kicked by Long, is off to the left side, but it is good. Centennial breaks the 50-point barrier. 52 points tonight, 52-6 over North. Now, this is somewhat of a surprise, 4:28 to play in a ball game. I'm sure you didn't think that Centennial would score even 40 points tonight.
Well, Mark, I knew in my own heart that Centennial probably would win the game. You know, they were definitely the favored team, but I don't think anybody would have thought the way North had been playing this year that it would be 52-6. You know, and I think the gentleman I talked to before the game had told me, what do you think of Centennial's chances? I said, well, I think they're good. But I thought their offense was struggling a little bit earlier in the year, which it had, especially the passing game. We knew the running game was there, but they're not playing Bakersfield High every week. So 14 points is not necessarily realistic for this team. But I do think they've developed. The passing game has improved, but they're also playing North High. They're not playing BHS. So you want to, you know, keep that in perspective too. But it has been an improvement in the Centennial offense. But you got to give credit to the special teams. Really, they've done a great job for Centennial, really keeping North bogged down deep in their own territory. North's made a couple questionable calls on offense. So, you know, it's just been one of those games.
Ball taken by Seiler, I believe, across the 20 to about the 30, 34-yard line. Took it on the run. He had that fine kickoff to open up the game. At a clock at 4:21, Centennial 52, North High 6. It was 28-0 at the half in favor of the Golden Hawks. You know, their backup people are very talented at Centennial. Well, Mark, probably even some of their number 3 people.
Well, I agree with you, but, you know, I don't want to take anything away from North tonight. North has gotten a resurgence in their football team. They've had more players out this year than they've had in many years. I really believe they have more talent this year than they've had in the past. And I think the program's on an upswing. And I think we need to mention that because I think Miss North is a pretty good football team. They're just going up against a great football team in Centennial.
Long pass, incomplete. At a far side, Birch, the intended receiver.
Wouldn't you agree, Mark, that North does appear to have some better athletes this year than they've had in past years?
Yes, I would agree with that.
I do think they do. I think there's more team speed, offensively and defensively. We saw them earlier against East Bakersfield, and they looked very good in the second half. Right. But I think they're just going up against a team that's one of the best in the Valley. But North High has made some improvements, and O'Brien has done a much better job this year with this team. I mean, he's gotten more interest in the program, and they're coming along. And I think they're going to be even better next year. Unfortunately, when you play a team like Centennial who's playing very well, they bring out a lot of your weaknesses. They expose those weaknesses. Krillin on the carry. Well, if there's one thing that North could probably want to work on, I think, would be their passing game. They've got to find a way, and Hatton's a junior quarterback, so he can get better. But they really need to look for a short passing game, and that could complement their running game.
You know, he passed effectively against East High, but of course the rush by East is so different than the rush by Centennial. 3:35 to play. Quarterback has to have time to throw, but also you have to establish some type of a running game, I think, for your passing attack to be successful, and they were not able to do that. Nice run by number 33 for North. I think that's Krellen looking good on that run. First down for North High School as they're close to midfield at their own 47-yard line.
Yeah, Dustin Krellen made a nice run off tackle there, Mark, running hard, running reckless abandon, and picking up a nice gain there for a first down. And right now, I think North just wants to keep the ball on the ground and run out the clock. But if they can get a pass here, who knows? They might try to maybe go deep on Centennial, maybe surprise them.
Adam remaining their quarterback for North High School, the junior, split backs behind him. There's Sousa, 10 yards and more, 35-30. Will he take it the distance? Dragged down on the far side, inside the 20-yard line. First and 10 for the North High Stars. At the 250 mark.
Mark Scott Payne, 6'1", 75-pound senior, made the tackle there, the outside cornerback for Centennial.
North High to move once again. Even a ball on the ground. North with one touchdown tonight, trying to make it two. As they're being defeated 52-6 by the Centennial Golden Hawks, 2:36 to play. And officials timeout.
I think Centennial now has gone 3 deep, Mark, in the defensive secondary and the defensive line. So there's so many different players coming in right now to the game for Centennial. It's really hard to get all their names mentioned. But it's a situation where I don't even think Coach Stubbe would even be disappointed if North scored again, in this situation. I mean, I don't think he really cares. I think he'd rather have maybe just score, make it more respectful, 52-13. The big question right now is that if North scores, are they going to go for 1 or 2? What do you think? 52-6. Or does it matter? No comment there.
I don't think it really matters at all. It doesn't matter to me. I mean, whether it's 52-13 or 52-14, big deal. But of course, first they have to score. That's something that's been very difficult tonight against Centennial if you look at the scoreboard. So that is not a guarantee.
Mark, nothing's a guarantee when you play against that Centennial defense tonight. They have been all over the field, fundamentally sound, no mistakes. Centennial has not had 1 turnover the whole game, and that's remarkable.
They've had very few penalties, too. I remember a 5-yarder and maybe a personal foul, but this is a game where they've had a shortage of penalties, which is always the key, but it has to do with field position, whether defensively or offensively. 2:29 to play, north of the ball, deep in Centennial territory. There's your man, number 34, running the ball. Tries a sidestep. Gains about 1 or 2 yards. Jason Small. Centennial brings in 5 other players, 5-5 here. Bringing in new players right and left.
Mark, earlier, Stubbe talked about this year's team being young compared to last year's team, and he didn't think this year's team was maybe as good, but I'll tell you right now, potentially this year's team has a much better passing attack, and I think this year's team's going to be better than last year's team. I think their defense this year is even more solid. So I really think this team has improved dramatically.
Pitch back in the Centennial D, rising to the occasion once again. Krellen on the carry. Yeah, but Centennial, their penetration has been so excellent tonight, whether it's the starters or the backups or whatever you want to call it. It's just amazing how quickly they have got into the offensive backfield of North. 1:23 to play in a ball game. North loses yards, 3rd and 13 for the Stars. Split backs. Inside handoff to Small. Inside the 20 to about the 15. It'll be 4th down for North, and I'm sure they'll go for it in this situation as the clock is under 1 minute left from Eliadis Field on the campus of North High. So North will fall to 4-2, 0-1 in the Southwest Yosemite League. Centennial improves to 5-1 and 1-0 in the SWYL. Next week, the Golden Hawks are at South. North takes on Stockdale. A winner over Highland the other night. Jason's out the middle, puts his head down, close to the goal line. As the clock continues to run, that North wants to score again.
Well, Mark, they might even call a timeout here because I'm sure, like you say, O'Brien would like to get another score on the scoreboard here to make the score a little more respectable. But if I was North, I'd hurry here, maybe get maybe 2 plays in before the game expires.
Split back beyond Haddon, clock at 25 seconds. And a flag is down. Is it too much time, or? I'm sure they're not talking about what commercial they saw on TV last night. Once again, I'd like to thank our sponsors for tonight's game. Prep Football on Time Warner Cable Channel 52. Coca-Cola, Cinnamon Cyclone, Gottschalk's, and AJ's Tuxedo Junction. 21 seconds left. North trying to get it into the end zone for the second time tonight. Hatton calling signals. To Small up the middle. Touchdown, North High. Jason Small with a score as he busts his way up the middle. 13 seconds left. North has 12, Centennial 52.
Mark, that was just an excellent push by the North offensive line, albeit by the third team Centennial defensive line, but still an aggressive run by Conley and Small. And touchdown there for North High.
Will North go for 2 or go for 1? Hey, they're going for 2. They want to get 14. Small once again up the middle. And he gets a 2. So Small with a touchdown and 2 points. North has 14.
Didn't I tell you they're going to go for 2 there? I had a feeling they might. So that was an important situation for O'Brien. Would they go for 1 or 2? He went for 2. Up the middle. They've really found a little bit of an opening there right up the middle, Mark, between both guards, straight up the middle, and North and South. And that's been the most successful play for North High tonight, is running the football straight up the middle.
And they virtually ran the same play successfully for the touchdown and also for the other one.
Well, Mark, with 13 seconds left, 52-14, I think Centennial's in great shape now for next week, and it looks good. Centennial's continuing to improve. Their passing game is starting to gel, and I think you'd even know right now the way their defense is playing, they're going to be a force to be reckoned with in the Southwest Yosemite League.
Okay, Dennis, take care.
Okay, I sure will. Well, we're ending the game here, Mark. Mark's going to go down and do a few interviews, maybe talk to the coach and maybe even a player here. You never know what Mark's going to do when it comes to football. Oh, here we go. North's going to kick off here with 13 seconds left, trailing 52-14. This will probably be a little bit of a squib kick here. Centennial. Ron Shear on the kick return brings the ball up to the 28-yard line. 1st and 10 for Centennial. 52-14. Centennial's wrapped this game up. Just very impressive tonight. Offensively, defensively, special teams. The kicking game was great. I think the big surprise tonight was that Velos, the quarterback tonight, in the first half, didn't miss a pass in the first half. Completed everything he threw. They really got the ball down deep into the middle of the field. They got a lot of one-on-one coverage. Were very successful, and they threw the ball short effectively also. Final score: Centennial 52, North 14. We'll return with interviews and a recap of other prep football games on Time Warner Cable, Channel 52.
I'm Mark Heffernan with the winning coach tonight, Jan Stubbe from Centennial High School. A 52-14 triumph, a rout over North High School on their home field. Your team is really ready to play tonight.
We were. We we came out ready. We came out clicking, and it's such a rivalry game, and this happens, and they were ready to play, and their coaches and staff did a great job getting them ready, and things happen, and we just, we had a better team this year.
Well, Coach, they put up an 8 or 9 man front. You saw single coverage, and you had a wonderful passing attack tonight.
We can throw the ball. George Bellis is a very, very good thrower, and Bratcher and Jamie Smith, our tight end, and we went out there, and we knew all week we were going to see it, and our game plan going on was to throw, and it really is a step forward for our offense, and we're now, I think we're pretty comfortable throwing or running, and we need to have that mixture we've been looking for all year. So, no, we're real pleased with the offense. Defensively, a couple goal line stands and the big kickoff return to open. You can't, these type games, I'll tell you what, they get momentum going, and pretty soon you're down 21-0. So I was pleased with we made a stand defensively right away, and then another one down there. So it was a good game for us.
Yeah, 2 big stands when the other team was inside the red zone. Reminds me of BHS at the end of the game. They had 1st and 10 from the 12. You stopped them on 4 plays. But I think for the offense to work, for the passing attack to work, we have to give so much credit to your offensive line. They gave Val so much time to throw.
Absolutely. Sean Fulweiler, Prado, Kitchings, Josh Williams, and a sophomore, B.J. Tittlemeyer. And then our backs, you got to realize our tight end blocked some tonight. We kept him in, and our backs, Andrew and Echeverry, they're taking on linebackers, and so we were real pleased with our blocking scheme, and we were fortunate enough that things worked tonight.
A lot of people got a chance to play for your team tonight. Everybody plays well, even the backups and maybe number 3 people for Centennial. You have a lot of speed overall on the team. A lot of guys like to hit. The team is so fundamentally sound.
We don't make a lot of mistakes, and you're right. We have a lot of good football players. And unfortunately, not everyone gets to play, as much as we have 68 kids.
But they were excited tonight.
Well, and we love playing them, believe me, and that's, so we're real pleased.
Next week you play at South.
At South, so it's another SWYL game, and South High, always plays this stuff, so we're looking forward to that.
And North High plays Stockdale, who got their first win against Highland this past week. Stockdale has been a good team. They just had trouble getting into the winners column.
Right, and I know last year they had a real close ball game, and it's going to be close again, because North's a good football. I'm not sure we're 52-14 better than North, to tell you the truth.
Well, you had a great ball game tonight.
We were clicking tonight. Sometimes it happens.
Yeah. Coach Jan Stubbe, thanks a lot. Congratulations. The final score again tonight, Centennial 52, North High 14. I'm Mark Heffernan for Prep Football exclusively on Time Warner Cable, Channel 52. Good night.